Hey, it's Coach Rock here, and in today's video, I'm going to show you why you should stop doing so much of this. Standing under the rim and shooting the ball for form shooting. In today's video, I'm going to break down why you should probably stop doing that. So when it comes to being a great shooter, a consistent shooter on the basketball court, we know that one of the most important things that we have to do is hold our follow through, right? All the coaches say, hold your follow through, hold your follow through. But nobody really explains why. Like, why do you need to hold your follow through? And what is a proper follow through? How should, what's the point of having the hand in the cookie jar and all that stuff? And it kind of all ties back to what I talked about in the beginning about the form shooting under the rim, which I'm going to get to in a second, and why you should stop doing that, or stop doing as much of that as you're probably doing, because it's not helping you like you think it is. So the first thing we have to think about is the follow through. Now, a lot of players, when they approach shooting, they have this bottom-up approach, right? They start with the footwork first, then they move up, then they focus on where they hold the ball, and they don't really put too much thought into the follow-through. It's just kind of, okay, just hold my follow-through up, and I'm good. Now, what I like to teach my players is the complete opposite of that. So we do more of a top-down approach. So what does that mean? Well, we start with the end in mind, because if you could find your target on the rim and you know what the end of your shot should look like. So if you find your target, the spot on the rim that you're aiming at or using as your spot to target, and you know how you should end, then everything else is going to take care of itself. Because we're going to get in situations where our footwork might be different. Our stance might be different depending on, we're coming off screens, we're shooting step backs, right? Every shot is different. But as long as the end is the same, we're good. So how should the end be? Well, the end should be what we call framing the rim. So right now, what I'm looking at is my left hand, since it's my offhand, is on the side of the rim. It's like I'm making a frame of the hoop. And my right hand, my fingers are a little above the backboard. These three fingers, basically all my fingers pointing down. And my main shooting finger is right in the middle of where my target is. So I know that's where I'm finishing my shot every single time. This is what it's going to look like. This is my follow through. Again, no matter what else happens, as long as that's how I finish, I'm good. So the thing I always tell my players is that when you have after shooting, you hold that frame. If your frame is off, some players might end with their hand like this. I always make my players correct it, all right? It's accept it or correct it. That's kind of the methodology that we have. And you shoot, if it's off anyway, if this hand's off anyway, you correct it. We want to build that muscle memory. Every time we shoot, this should be our ending, framing the basket. Now, another key to remember here is we are working on shooting, all right? Shooting is a skill that's based on our mechanics. And there's another big mistake I see a lot of players make is if you're trying to master your shooting mechanics, the only way that you can really test your shooting mechanics and correct your shooting mechanics is if you're shooting from the same spot every single time. Because that's the only time you can make sure your frame is aimed at the same spot. So some players will come out here, they'll shoot 100 different shots from 100 different spots. And it's just not consistent, because they're not used to using their frame. They're not used to seeing the frame. It's kind of like, let's say, a golf swing, all right? When a guy is learning golf, he masters that swing. He starts with a lower club, masters that swing before he moves to higher clubs, before he moves to more difficult shots. But it's that same swing every time that he must master on the driveway area before he can take that to the bunker, before he can take that to other spots. He has to master that technique. It's the same thing with our shooting. Players, before they even master their technique, they're launching threes from all over the arena. But you have to master your technique, your mechanics first. And this is where we get into the spot shooting thing, why you should stop doing so much spot form shooting, all right? As I just said, if you want to master your shooting mechanics, you have to pick one spot to pick from. What I like to tell my players is start from the top of the key. And then, especially if you're a point guard, top of the key threes is money. But start from the top of the key and then maybe take a few steps back, 2 to 3 feet back from your range. So you want to extend, you want to kind of force yourself to shoot. And here's why. Shooting a basketball is about energy control. All right, so from out here, how much energy do you have to put into the ball to get it to the rim? You have to put 100% energy, right? Otherwise, you're not going to be able to get it to the rim. How much energy do you have to put into your shot when you're down here? 5 feet away, probably like what, 5% energy. Now think about when you're shooting shots in real games. Are you ever going to take a shot other than probably a free throw that is at a small amount of energy, like 5%? No, every single shot from out here, off the dribble, everything is going to be 100% energy. So that is why you need to practice out here, where you are controlling that energy, you're having to extend, and you're having to really focus on your technique from out here. Another benefit of mastering shooting out here, over time, you'll get used to shooting out here. And guess what? The regular threes that you shoot in games, which is the high school threes right here, it's going to feel like a layup. It's going to feel super, super easy. It honestly would probably feel too close for you. It'd be too easy. So that's another benefit of mastering your shot from out here. But that is why spending so much time doing spot shooting under the rim for your form doesn't work, because that shot is 100 times different than this shot. Being a master at having perfect form down there means nothing when you're out here. And having perfect form out here has nothing to do with having perfect form down there. But what shot are you more likely to shoot in real games? I mean, it's simple. Now, I know the argument is, well, I want to start close so I can see the ball going in the rim. That'll help me build my confidence to see the ball going through the net. But are you really building your confidence by shooting 5-foot shots like that aren't similar to any other shot you're going to shoot in the game? Probably not. So again, what it would look like is if you were coming to work on your shot, I'd put you at a spot and we would analyze different parts of your mechanics. But today we'll just focus on the frame. So all I want you to focus on is the frame and the targeting. Find your spot, shoot, hold your target. And if you're having trouble with your framing, do what I call the statue pose, where you hold it for at least 30 seconds after you shoot. And this is usually what I have to do with younger kids, because they finish like this, and I have to get them used to finishing like this. And in reality, even when you're not doing the statue pose, when you're doing this drill, you want to hold your follow through until the ball hits the rim or goes through the basket. So here's how it would look. I'm a little deep right now. And I'll just hold that. Sometimes my feet are going to land differently, but my frame stays the same. So that's just a stationary shot from the top. Let's look at one off the move. Notice how my footwork is here. Look at my feet. Way different than my regular set shot, right? Sometimes your lower body is going to be different, but as long as you finish the same at the top, you're good. So again, now as I'm shifting over here, of course, the middle of the hoop changes a little bit, but my hands are still in the middle from this spot. But again, when you're training your shooting, your mechanics, in the beginning, it's best to stay at the same spot until this becomes mastered. And there's a quote from Bruce Lee. I think he says, I fear not the guy that has tried, 10,000 kicks one time. That's the equivalent of, I don't fear the guy that has shot 100 shots from 100 different spots. I fear the guy that has practiced one kick 10,000 times, because he's mastered that technique. And it's the same thing here. I fear the person that has practiced the same shot 10,000 times, perfect form, perfect frame at the end, super consistent, mechanics are mastered, and when it's time to move to a different spot, that's not going to change. All that will stay the same, and they will be a consistent shooter, more effective shooter. I hope you found today's video helpful, and if you are looking to take your game to the next level, all you have to do is click the link that we have pinned for you in the comments or in the description, or just go to revengebasketball.com/YouTube. You can check out our free training guide, where we show you our 3 biggest secrets to becoming an elite player, an elite scorer in real games. So again, scroll down, click that link. If you enjoyed the video, do me a big favor, hit the thumbs up for me. That'll let me know that you like the video, you like this topic. Comment below, let me know if there are any other topics that you want me to touch, or just comment below to give me a quick shout out. Last but not least, please do not forget to subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications so you never miss another video. Until next time, I'll see you then.